In life, we often underestimate the impact we have on others, especially in the relationships we build. Whether it's friendships, romantic partnerships, or even professional connections, the absence of someone we once valued can leave a lasting void that's often not fully realized until it's gone. Drawing on Stoic philosophy, we understand that much of what we perceive as valuable is often tied to what we have or what we lose. The deeper lessons of Stoicism teach us that control over our emotions, perception of self-worth, and the nature of desire and attachment play crucial roles in how we respond to loss. In this video, we'll explore 8 key points that reveal why someone might regret losing you far more than they think. It's not just about the emotional connection, but also about the sense of stability, guidance, and personal growth you provided. Many people tend to take things and people for granted, but once they lose what was once familiar and valuable, their regret often sets in. They'll start to reflect on missed opportunities, lost potential, and the emotional void that your absence has created. Stoicism teaches us that understanding these feelings is key to navigating life with clarity and wisdom. By recognizing how others perceive your absence, you gain insights into your own value and how to remain resilient even when faced with loss. Whether you've experienced someone walking away or you're reflecting on your own presence in others' lives, this video will help uncover the deeper truths about why people often regret losing what they once had. Let's dive deeper into these 8 powerful points and explore the emotional impact of absence from a Stoic perspective. Number 1. The power of emotional connection. The power of emotional connection is profound and far-reaching, influencing not only our relationships with others, but also our sense of self and well-being. When two people establish a meaningful emotional bond, they create a space where trust, understanding, and intimacy thrive. This connection goes beyond surface-level interactions, reaching into the depths of who we are and what we seek in life. Emotional connections aren't formed through shared interests or goals alone. They arise from a deep, intuitive understanding of one another. They fulfill a fundamental human need for connection and belonging, offering a sense of purpose, stability, and support, especially during life's uncertainties. When we are emotionally connected to someone, they become a fundamental part of our experience, shaping how we perceive ourselves and others. These bonds allow us to feel seen, heard, and understood, reinforcing our sense of identity and self-worth. In turn, they create a framework of trust that helps navigate both joy and adversity. Emotional connections aren't static. They evolve with time, yet they leave lasting impressions on us. When someone we are deeply connected to disappears or withdraws, it creates a profound void. This absence is not merely physical, but emotional, leaving behind feelings of loneliness, emptiness, and confusion. The loss of emotional connection disrupts the foundation of our sense of belonging, making it difficult to feel grounded or secure. In many cases, people fail to recognize the value of these connections until they are gone. Emotional bonds often go unnoticed in daily life, becoming background elements of our existence. However, when they are lost, their absence becomes impossible to ignore. Individuals may find themselves grappling with regret, reflecting on what was lost and the potential they didn't fully appreciate or act upon while the connection was present. The absence of emotional connection leads to a heightened awareness of what once was and what could have been. In Stoic terms, people tend to overvalue what they once had, especially when it's no longer within their grasp. The realization that something valuable has been lost can prompt feelings of regret and sorrow. In Stoicism, this process of reflection is essential. The philosophy teaches us that much of human suffering stems from attachment to things we cannot control, like relationships, emotions, and outcomes. When we are too attached to something or someone, we inevitably face the discomfort of their absence. Stoics emphasize the importance of accepting the impermanence of life and relationships. By letting go of attachment, we reduce the burden of loss and cultivate a sense of tranquility. However, human nature makes this process difficult. The emotional connection creates a sense of permanence in our minds, leading us to believe that certain relationships or bonds should last indefinitely. When they don't, the loss feels deeper and more profound. When someone loses an emotional connection, they are often left questioning their own worth and the role they played in that connection. They may begin to reflect on their contributions, the qualities they brought to the relationship, and the impact they had on the other person. This introspection is natural, but it can also lead to self-doubt and regret. Regret is a powerful emotion that arises when we feel we could have done something differently to prevent the loss, or when we fail to fully appreciate what we had while it was present. People may realize that they took the emotional connection for granted, focusing on what they lacked rather than what they had. As a result, they may experience a heightened sense of loss, wondering why they didn't cherish the connection more while it lasted. Furthermore, the loss of emotional connection often leads to a sense of disorientation. When we are emotionally tied to someone, they provide a sense of consistency and familiarity in our lives. Their absence leaves a void that disrupts our emotional stability and sense of purpose. This can create a feeling of insecurity as we begin to question our ability to form similar connections in the future. In the absence of emotional bonds, people often struggle to find a sense of direction, feeling disconnected from their own sense of identity. The foundation of who they are becomes shaky, and they may feel lost in navigating life without the support and connection they once had. The regret that arises from the loss of emotional connection is often compounded by missed opportunities. Emotional bonds often foster growth, both personally and collectively. When someone loses an emotional connection, they may reflect on what they could have done to nurture the bond further or deepen the relationship. They may realize they missed crucial moments to express their feelings, offer support, or take actions that could have solidified the connection. This sense of missed opportunities becomes a source of regret, as people realize that the relationship was a valuable part of their life that could have brought even more fulfillment if nurtured. Moreover, emotional connections often shape our sense of self-worth. When someone loses this connection, they may question their own value, wondering if they were ever truly appreciated or if they contributed enough to sustain the bond. Stoicism emphasizes that much of our emotional suffering stems from our attachment to external things like relationships and the desire for validation from others. When that external validation is lost, people may feel a loss of identity or self-worth. They may begin to see themselves as less valuable, believing that their worth was tied to the connection they once had. This, in turn, can lead to feelings of insecurity and doubt, reinforcing the cycle of regret. The loss of emotional connection also forces people to confront their own vulnerability. Emotional bonds are built on trust and openness, requiring individuals to be authentic and exposed. When those bonds are severed, the vulnerability they once embraced is often replaced with fear of being hurt again. The absence of emotional connection leaves people feeling more isolated, uncertain and guarded, as they try to protect themselves from future loss. This protective mindset can further inhibit the formation of new emotional connections, leading to a sense of stagnation and disconnection. In conclusion, the power of emotional connection shapes how we perceive ourselves, our relationships, and our lives. When these connections are lost, they leave behind a void that affects not only our emotional stability, but also our sense of identity, purpose, and self-worth. Stoicism teaches us that much of our suffering stems from our attachment to things beyond our control, but human nature often prevents us from fully accepting the impermanence of relationships. The regret that follows the loss of emotional connection is a natural response to the absence of what once brought meaning, stability, and fulfillment to our lives. Understanding the profound impact of these connections helps us navigate loss with greater wisdom and acceptance, allowing us to grow and find peace amidst life's inevitable changes. Number 2. The impact of stability and consistency. Stability and consistency play a vital role in shaping our lives and relationships. When someone provides stability, they offer a sense of reliability and security that becomes essential in both personal and external domains. Stability isn't just about physical consistency, but also emotional and mental reliability, an anchor that helps individuals navigate life's uncertainties. Consistency in actions, words, and intentions fosters trust and creates a foundation upon which relationships are built. When someone consistently shows up, demonstrating dependability, reliability, and support, they help establish a sense of order and structure in the lives of others. This foundation of stability provides comfort and reduces anxiety, allowing people to focus on growth, self-improvement, and their relationships. The impact of stability extends beyond the individual. It also creates a ripple effect on those around them. In relationships, whether they be romantic, familial, or friendships, people tend to gravitate towards stability because it reduces the inherent unpredictability of life. When someone provides emotional stability, they offer a sense of calm and composure, which becomes particularly valuable in times of stress, uncertainty, or turmoil. In these moments, people often seek out the stability of those who consistently show up with a sense of reliability, trust, and emotional support. This consistent presence becomes a source of strength, offering reassurance and guiding others through challenging circumstances. Consistency also cultivates an environment of trust. Trust is built on predictability. When people know what to expect from someone, they feel safer and more secure in their relationship. Whether it's showing up for emotional support, following through on commitments, or maintaining reliable behavior, consistent actions reinforce trust. Without stability and consistency, relationships are often fraught with insecurity and doubt. When people feel uncertain about where they stand with others, they tend to become more guarded, hesitant, and unwilling to invest emotionally. However, when stability is present, it fosters an environment where individuals feel more secure, leading to deeper connections and a stronger sense of belonging. Stability also promotes self-reflection and growth. When individuals feel supported and grounded, they are more likely to explore their own potential and take risks without the fear of failure or disruption. In environments where consistency is present, people feel encouraged to develop and evolve, knowing that their foundations remain steady. This is especially important when it comes to personal development. Stable relationships allow for the pursuit of goals, the exploration of passions, and the ability to recover from setbacks. When people feel secure, they are more likely to invest in their growth, knowing that they have a reliable base to return to when they need support. Consistency and stability also reduce the emotional toll that comes with uncertainty. In relationships, when people are unsure of another's commitment or reliability, they often experience stress, doubt, and insecurity. The anxiety of unpredictability can lead to a sense of emotional instability, which in turn affects mental well-being. However, when people experience consistent support and stability, they are better able to maintain their emotional equilibrium. Stability creates a safe space where individuals feel free to express themselves and be vulnerable, knowing that they will not be judged or abandoned. This sense of safety allows for deeper intimacy and connection. The loss of stability and consistency can have profound effects on both individuals and relationships. When someone who once provided this sense of reliability disappears or becomes inconsistent, it creates a disruption that often leaves others feeling lost, uncertain, and unanchored. In romantic relationships, for example, when one partner withdraws or becomes less dependable, the other may feel abandoned or unsure of their place in the relationship. This can lead to increased feelings of insecurity, jealousy, and resentment. In friendships or family dynamics, a lack of consistency can result in strained relationships, as people may begin to doubt one another's commitment or reliability. When stability is removed, the foundation that once provided support becomes a source of instability, and individuals are left struggling to find a sense of security. Consistency and stability are also interconnected with people's sense of identity. When someone is consistently present and reliable, they often become an integral part of others' lives. The role they play in providing stability helps shape how others perceive themselves and their relationships. When this role is taken away, people may begin to question their sense of self-worth and their ability to find stability elsewhere. The disruption caused by inconsistent behavior forces individuals to confront their own vulnerabilities and often their own doubts about whether they will ever find the same level of security again. In the context of Stoicism, stability is deeply intertwined with virtue and control. Stoics emphasize the importance of cultivating internal stability, remaining grounded and focused on what we can control rather than what is beyond our influence. The external stability provided by others contributes to this inner peace, as Stoicism encourages acceptance of life's uncertainties while remaining steadfast in our values. When stability is compromised, however, people may become overly reliant on external factors, losing sight of their internal control and tranquility. Furthermore, stability and consistency contribute to the development of resilience. When individuals experience stability, they are better equipped to endure life's challenges. The consistent presence of support and stability helps people bounce back from adversity, knowing that they have a reliable foundation to rely on. Without this foundation, they may feel more fragile and susceptible to setbacks, unable to maintain their composure during difficult times. Resilience becomes harder to cultivate in environments marked by inconsistency, leading to a cycle of stress and uncertainty. Ultimately, stability and consistency are not merely about external factors, but deeply rooted in human nature and the way we seek meaning and security in life. When these elements are present, they offer a sense of structure and purpose, enabling individuals to thrive and grow. However, when stability is removed or compromised, people are often left feeling untethered, disconnected, and unsure of their footing. Understanding the profound impact of stability and consistency can help us recognize the importance of nurturing and maintaining these qualities in ourselves and in our relationships, allowing for deeper connections, personal growth, and resilience in the face of life's inevitable changes. Number 3, loss of influence and guidance. The loss of influence and guidance can have a profound impact on individuals, leaving them feeling lost, uncertain, and disconnected. Influence and guidance often play a crucial role in shaping our decisions, actions, and sense of purpose. When someone who once provided direction or support is no longer present, whether through physical absence or emotional withdrawal, the void they leave behind creates a sense of disorientation. Influence is not just about imparting knowledge or advice. It's about offering insight, wisdom, and perspective that helps others navigate life's complexities. When this influence disappears, people are often left grappling with uncertainty, struggling to find their way. Guidance typically serves as a framework that helps individuals make sense of their lives and relationships. Whether it's the guidance of a mentor, a partner, or a trusted figure, the absence of such direction can lead to confusion, self-doubt, and the feeling of being adrift. Without someone to provide feedback, support, and a sense of clarity, individuals may begin to question their own judgments and decisions. In the absence of guidance, people often feel like they are navigating life blindly, making choices that may lack purpose or direction. This loss of influence is particularly impactful during moments of change, challenge, or transition, when clear guidance is often most needed. When we lose the influence of someone who once provided wisdom and structure, we are often left with a sense of void. This void can lead to a heightened sense of insecurity, as individuals may begin to doubt their ability to make sound decisions on their own. The absence of a guiding figure leaves people feeling disconnected from their sense of purpose and direction, unsure of which path to take or which choices to make. Without that external influence, there is a greater reliance on internal confusion, as individuals struggle to reconcile conflicting thoughts, emotions, and uncertainties. Guidance often provides not only direction, but also reassurance. Knowing that someone has faith in our decisions or offers sound advice can give us the confidence to move forward. When that guidance is lost, confidence tends to erode, replaced by doubt and hesitation. The absence of someone who once offered influence can lead people to feel as though they lack the ability to trust their own judgment. This is particularly true when people have grown accustomed to relying on external validation and direction. In the absence of guidance, they may feel isolated, unsure of their own value, and uncertain about their path forward. In Stoic terms, this loss of guidance highlights the importance of self-reliance. The Stoics teach that we should focus on what we can control and seek virtue from within. However, human nature often leads us to seek external sources of guidance and influence, believing that others hold the key to our decisions and well-being. When we lose these external influences, we may experience the discomfort of confronting our own limitations and recognizing that we are responsible for our own choices. This can be a difficult realization, as it often leads to self-reflection and a sense of vulnerability. The absence of guidance also impacts our sense of identity. Influence and support often help us define who we are and what we stand for. When that guidance disappears, we may begin to feel disconnected from our sense of self, questioning what truly matters to us. Without external influences, people are often forced to navigate life from a more subjective and uncertain perspective. They may begin to question their values, beliefs, and goals, leading to a period of introspection and uncertainty. In this state, individuals may feel as though they lack the grounding that once helped them form a coherent identity. Moreover, the loss of influence and guidance can create a sense of stagnation. When people are no longer influenced or mentored, they may find themselves unable to grow or evolve in the way they once did. Guidance often pushes people to stretch their limits, encouraging growth, learning, and adaptation. Without that external push, individuals may become stuck, unsure of how to move forward or where to focus their energy. This stagnation can be especially difficult during moments when change is inevitable, leaving people feeling overwhelmed and uncertain about the future. The lack of guidance can also affect relationships. When someone who once served as a source of influence withdraws, it can disrupt the balance and dynamic between individuals. Relationships often rely on guidance and mutual support, particularly in times of uncertainty or challenge. When that guidance disappears, relationships may become strained as people struggle to adapt to new circumstances. Without someone offering direction or insight, others may feel unsupported, uncertain, and disconnected. This can lead to a cycle of mistrust, disconnection, and ultimately, emotional distance. The loss of influence and guidance often leads to heightened self-awareness, but also heightened self-doubt. People may begin to reflect on their own strengths and limitations, yet struggle to reconcile their newfound sense of autonomy with the uncertainty that follows. In these moments, they may find themselves longing for the clarity and structure they once received. However, the Stoic philosophy teaches us that embracing our own limitations and accepting our internal control is the path toward resilience. The loss of external guidance forces us to confront the idea that we are, in many ways, responsible for our own growth and well-being. Ultimately, the impact of the loss of influence and guidance is both profound and complex. It disrupts our sense of security, self-worth, and direction, leaving us to navigate life's challenges with greater uncertainty. While it may lead to periods of introspection and self-discovery, it can also create feelings of vulnerability, self-doubt, and stagnation. Recognizing the role of influence and guidance in our lives allows us to better understand how they shape our decisions, relationships, and sense of purpose. In doing so, we can strive to cultivate greater self-reliance and acceptance of our own responsibilities in the face of life's inevitable changes. Number 4. The value of your Stoic strength. Stoic strength is a cornerstone of resilience and self-mastery. At its core, Stoicism emphasizes the control we have over our reactions, thoughts, and attitudes toward external events, allowing us to maintain inner peace regardless of external circumstances. The value of Stoic strength lies in its ability to foster emotional stability, clear judgment, and a profound sense of peace in the face of adversity. Stoicism teaches that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we do have control over how we respond. This shift in focus, moving away from the pursuit of external outcomes and toward internal virtue, offers a source of enduring strength. A key aspect of Stoic strength is the practice of accepting what is beyond our control and letting go of the desire to control external events. By focusing on what we can influence, we free ourselves from the burdens of anxiety, fear, and desire. Stoicism encourages us to detach from the outcome, reminding us that our peace is not tied to external validation or circumstances. This detachment fosters clarity and allows us to act with intention rather than reacting impulsively to situations beyond our control. Stoic strength also empowers us to confront discomfort and difficulty with equanimity. Life is filled with challenges, setbacks, and unpredictable events. However, Stoicism teaches that these obstacles are not inherently negative, they are opportunities for growth. When we embrace discomfort and adversity, we cultivate resilience and the ability to endure hardships with grace. By focusing on what lies within our power to control, such as our mindset, character, and actions, we gain the inner fortitude necessary to face life's uncertainties without being overwhelmed. One of the most valuable aspects of Stoic strength is its connection to virtue. Stoicism promotes the development of key virtues such as courage, wisdom, justice, and self-control. These virtues are not merely abstract ideals, but practical tools that guide us through life. When we embody these virtues, we build character and develop the kind of strength that allows us to navigate challenges with clarity and composure. Virtuous actions are the foundation of Stoic strength, as they help us maintain integrity, wisdom, and resilience in our daily lives. Moreover, Stoic strength allows us to maintain a sense of purpose and focus. In a world filled with distractions and external demands, it is easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Stoicism encourages us to reflect on our values, align our actions with our highest principles, and cultivate a life of intention. When we act in accordance with our virtues, we gain a sense of direction and fulfillment that is not dependent on external circumstances. This clarity of purpose provides us with the strength to remain grounded, even when faced with uncertainty or adversity. Another key aspect of Stoic strength is the practice of self-reflection and awareness. Stoicism urges us to examine our thoughts, beliefs, and reactions, identifying what is within our control and what is not. By cultivating this self-awareness, we gain the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. This leads to greater self-mastery as we learn to observe our thoughts and emotions without becoming enslaved by them. The ability to observe and reflect empowers us to maintain emotional equilibrium regardless of external pressures. Stoic strength also encourages the practice of virtue in relationships. By striving to embody traits like justice, compassion, and respect, we enhance our interactions with others, promoting healthier and more meaningful connections. Stoicism teaches that our relationships flourish when we act with integrity, humility, and empathy. This inward strength allows us to remain anchored even in the face of betrayal or misunderstandings, fostering deeper connections that are not easily disrupted by external circumstances. In a world that often places emphasis on external validation, success, and material possessions, Stoic strength reminds us of the enduring value of our inner character. True strength, according to Stoicism, lies not in external achievements, but in our ability to remain unshaken by external conditions. It is this inner resilience, the ability to maintain composure, clarity, and purpose, that provides the most lasting sense of peace and fulfillment. Ultimately, the value of Stoic strength lies in its capacity to empower us to live a life of virtue, clarity, and intentionality. It offers the tools necessary to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and composure, allowing us to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. By cultivating this strength, we create a foundation for personal growth, self-mastery, and a deeper connection to what truly matters, fostering a life of integrity and peace. Number 5. Regret of missed opportunities. The regret of missed opportunities can be one of the most haunting experiences a person can face. When we reflect on moments where we hesitated, made the wrong choices, or failed to seize a chance, the sense of loss can linger, leaving a deep impact on our sense of self. Missed opportunities often carry with them the weight of what could have been. These are moments where the potential for growth, success, or connection was within reach, but for one reason or another, we did not act. The feeling of regret arises from the awareness of the potential we didn't tap into, whether it was the fear of failure, lack of confidence, or simply not recognizing the significance of the moment at the time. Each missed opportunity is a reminder of the finite nature of time and the countless possibilities that slip away. The opportunities we don't take often stand as reflections of our doubts, limitations, or reluctance to embrace the unknown. Whether it's a career opportunity, a chance for personal growth, or an important relationship, the absence of action leaves a void that is hard to fill. The regret is compounded by the knowledge that some opportunities may never come again. Life's fleeting nature means that once these moments pass, they may be gone forever, leaving behind the nagging realization that we may have been capable of something greater. Regret often stems from the fear of missing out on the life we imagined for ourselves. There is a natural tendency to wonder about what could have happened if we had taken a different path. These thoughts often lead to a cycle of self-blame and what-if scenarios, where we replay missed opportunities in our minds. The more we dwell on these missed chances, the more our confidence can be eroded. Each regret reinforces the belief that we are somehow incomplete, or that life has passed us by. It becomes difficult to let go of these feelings, especially when we are reminded of what we perceive as lost time or unrealized potential. The pain of missed opportunities is not just about what we failed to achieve, but what we failed to become. Every missed chance is an opportunity to grow, to evolve, and to step into a better version of ourselves. When we don't take those chances, we deny ourselves the potential for learning, resilience, and transformation. It is natural to feel a sense of loss when reflecting on these missed moments, but this regret can become a source of bitterness if we allow it to define us. What makes this experience even more difficult is the tendency to compare ourselves with others who may have seized similar opportunities, giving rise to feelings of inadequacy or envy. Moreover, regret often arises from the belief that we had control over certain outcomes. When we look back on missed opportunities, we might feel a sense of powerlessness or lack of agency. We may believe that our choices, actions, or inactions determine the course of events. However, Stoicism teaches us that while we can control our actions and responses, we cannot control the outcomes. Instead of focusing on missed opportunities, the Stoic mindset encourages us to focus on what is within our power, our thoughts, attitudes, and virtues. By accepting what is beyond our control, we free ourselves from the burden of regret and redirect our energy toward what remains within our grasp. In accepting the inevitability of missed opportunities, we are often left with two choices: wallow in regret or use that regret as fuel for growth. Regret, when channeled properly, can serve as a catalyst for self-reflection and renewed determination. It prompts us to ask difficult questions. What lessons can I draw from these moments? How can I apply this awareness moving forward? The key is not to dwell on what was lost, but to understand that every missed opportunity holds the potential for new chances and a deeper understanding of who we are. Sometimes missed opportunities are not only about what we failed to act upon, but what we have gained from the experience. They often serve as reminders of our resilience and our ability to endure despite setbacks. Every instance of regret can become an opportunity to reflect on our strengths, our adaptability, and our capacity to grow beyond our limitations. By acknowledging these lessons, we build a foundation for future actions, ensuring that we are more prepared to embrace new opportunities as they arise. Regret is a natural part of the human experience, but it doesn't have to define us. The key is to learn from missed opportunities rather than be consumed by them. By shifting our perspective, focusing on what remains within our control, and embracing the lessons of our past, we can transform regret into motivation for a more intentional and fulfilling future. Number 6. Realization of self-worth and responsibility. The realization of self-worth and responsibility often emerges as a crucial turning point in our lives. It is the moment when we come to understand that our value is not determined by external validation or the opinions of others, but by how we perceive ourselves and the choices we make. Self-worth is not something that can be given to us. It must be cultivated from within. When we finally grasp this truth, it can feel both empowering and overwhelming. We begin to see ourselves as more than the sum of our achievements or the judgments of others. Instead, we recognize our inherent dignity, strengths, and potential, irrespective of external circumstances. Self-worth is closely tied to our sense of responsibility. Once we understand our own value, we begin to acknowledge the role we play in shaping our lives. Responsibility becomes not a burden, but an opportunity to act with intention and integrity. When we accept that we are accountable for our own thoughts, actions, and decisions, we gain a sense of control over our lives that was previously elusive. The realization of responsibility is not about placing blame or succumbing to guilt, but about recognizing the power we have to make choices that align with our values and contribute to our growth. This awareness shifts our perspective from a mindset of dependence to one of self-reliance. It becomes clear that we cannot rely on external factors, whether approval from others, material success, or external validation, to define our worth. Instead, we begin to build our sense of worth from within, through the virtues we cultivate, the integrity we uphold, and the contributions we make. When we accept full responsibility for our lives, we break free from the trap of seeking external recognition and begin to trust ourselves as the source of our own value. The realization of self-worth and responsibility also fosters resilience. When we understand that we are the architects of our own lives, we become better equipped to handle setbacks, failures, and challenges. Instead of being victims of circumstance, we see ourselves as active participants, capable of responding thoughtfully and purposefully. This mindset allows us to endure hardship with greater strength, knowing that our worth is not tied to external outcomes, but to the integrity of our actions. Moreover, the acceptance of responsibility often leads to a deeper sense of purpose. Once we recognize our worth and the role we play in shaping our lives, we are better able to align our actions with what truly matters. We begin to prioritize our values, set meaningful goals, and pursue lives that are guided by purpose rather than fear or approval. This shift is not just about avoiding blame, but about embracing the freedom to create a life that reflects our highest potential. Number 7. The shift from desire to reflection. The shift from desire to reflection marks a profound change in how we approach life and the pursuit of meaning. Often our lives are driven by desires, cravings for success, recognition, wealth, comfort, or the approval of others. These desires create an endless cycle of striving, always pushing us toward the next goal or the next acquisition. Yet, as we begin to reflect more deeply, we start to realize that these desires, while seemingly important, are often fleeting and ultimately unsatisfying. The pursuit of external outcomes, whether material or emotional, rarely delivers the lasting peace and fulfillment we seek. Reflection, on the other hand, offers a different path, a shift from chasing external validation and desires to understanding ourselves more deeply. When we reflect, we move away from the constant search for what we lack and begin to examine what truly matters. Reflection requires us to pause, to step back, and to examine our motivations, beliefs, and desires with honesty. We start asking questions like, "Why do I want this?" or "What purpose does this serve?" This inward focus helps to reveal the truth beneath our desires, whether they arise from genuine needs or from shallow cravings driven by external influences. Often we discover that many of our desires are shaped by societal pressures, fear, or the need to conform. By reflecting, we gain clarity and can discern between what is truly meaningful and what is simply an illusion of fulfillment. One of the most transformative aspects of this shift is letting go of attachment to outcomes. When we are driven solely by desire, we become prisoners to the outcomes we seek. We believe that our worth or happiness is tied to achieving specific goals, and our peace hinges on whether those goals are realized. However, reflection allows us to understand that outcomes are beyond our full control. We come to see that fulfillment does not lie in the attainment of desires, but in our response to them. The Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control teaches us to let go of what is not and to act with virtue and intention rather than attachment and expectation. Through reflection, we begin to recognize the impermanence of desires. Desires, once satisfied, are often replaced by new ones, leaving us in an endless loop of seeking and craving. Reflection reveals the truth that fulfillment is not found in the attainment of desires, but in the tranquility that comes from living in harmony with our nature. We learn that the pursuit of tranquility and wisdom is far more rewarding than the pursuit of transient pleasures. Reflection also deepens our awareness of the present moment, reminding us that much of life's beauty lies in the simple, often overlooked aspects of existence, relationships, growth, and the peace that comes from living in alignment with virtue. Additionally, the shift from desire to reflection fosters self-awareness and personal growth. Reflection encourages us to look within and confront the narratives we've built about ourselves and the world. We begin to question our assumptions, our beliefs, and our attachment to outcomes. This self-awareness allows us to identify our strengths, weaknesses, and areas for growth. Rather than defining ourselves by what we lack or what we desire, we are guided by a deeper understanding of who we are and what truly matters. Reflection allows us to align our actions with values that promote long-term fulfillment rather than short-term satisfaction. Furthermore, reflection helps us develop a sense of gratitude for what we have, rather than focusing on what we lack. When we shift from a mindset of desire to reflection, we begin to appreciate the present and the abundance we often overlook. Gratitude becomes a central practice, reminding us of the value of what is already within our reach. Reflection teaches us that fulfillment arises from cultivating contentment, not from the constant pursuit of more. It encourages us to recognize that peace and joy are found in the simplicity of life, rather than in the complexity of desire-driven ambitions. In letting go of desire and embracing reflection, we create space for a life of deeper meaning and purpose. Reflection helps us redefine our goals, not as outcomes to be achieved, but as processes to be engaged with. The focus shifts from what we want to who we are becoming. Reflection encourages us to act with integrity, to live in alignment with our virtues, and to seek growth that contributes to our well-being and the well-being of others. In this way, the shift from desire to reflection is not a loss but a gain, a path to greater self-awareness, peace, and fulfillment. Number 8. Awakening to personal growth and potential. Awakening to personal growth and potential is a transformative journey that begins with a deep realization of who we are and what we are capable of becoming. It often starts with discomfort, a feeling that something within us is unfulfilled or stagnant. This discomfort can serve as a catalyst, urging us to seek greater clarity, purpose, and meaning in our lives. As we awaken to our potential, we begin to see ourselves not as limited by our circumstances, but as beings capable of growth, resilience, and self-improvement. Personal growth is not about changing who we are, but uncovering the best version of ourselves that already exists within. The process of awakening involves self-reflection, a willingness to confront our fears, doubts, and insecurities. It requires asking difficult questions. What am I truly capable of? What limiting beliefs have held me back? What values do I want to live by? When we begin to answer these questions honestly, we uncover the limiting narratives we have carried about ourselves. Personal growth is not about discovering something new, but remembering the potential we have always had. Awakening comes when we break free from the constraints of self-doubt, external expectations, and the fear of failure. As we become more self-aware, we start to recognize that our potential is not fixed, it is fluid and ever-evolving. Growth is a process of continuous learning, reflection, and adaptation. The Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of self-mastery and the cultivation of virtues like courage, resilience, and wisdom. When we awaken to our potential, we embrace these virtues, understanding that our character is not something static, but something we develop over time. Personal growth becomes a commitment to becoming the best version of ourselves, both in character and in action. Awakening also requires a shift in mindset. It involves letting go of the limitations we have imposed on ourselves, whether they come from fear, past experiences, or external expectations. We begin to see obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth. The Stoic belief that external events do not disturb us, but our interpretation of them reflects this mindset shift. When we awaken to our potential, we stop viewing challenges as threats and start viewing them as chances to expand, learn, and become stronger. Another key aspect of awakening is the realization that growth is a lifelong journey. It is not something that can be achieved overnight, but something we cultivate with intentional effort. Personal growth is about setting goals that align with our values, taking consistent action, and embracing setbacks as part of the process. Each step forward, no matter how small, contributes to a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are capable of. The more we commit to growth, the more we begin to trust ourselves and the process of becoming. As we awaken to our potential, we also gain a deeper sense of purpose. We start to realize that true fulfillment comes from living a life that reflects our values and aligns with what matters most to us. Purpose-driven growth allows us to pursue goals that transcend material success, focusing instead on creating a life that is meaningful and authentic. This sense of purpose provides direction, motivation, and clarity, guiding us as we work toward becoming the best version of ourselves. Furthermore, awakening to personal growth often requires letting go of attachments to outcomes. We begin to understand that the journey itself is more important than the destination. When we focus solely on results, we risk losing sight of the lessons, experiences, and growth that come from the process. Stoicism teaches us to accept what we cannot control and focus on our own actions. Personal growth follows a similar principle. Our potential lies not in the outcomes we desire, but in the effort and intention we bring to our journey.